In today's video, I want to share with you 10 budgeting myths you might be falling for. What's up guys, my name is Justin and welcome back to the channel where we make little changes with huge impacts on our lives. If you are new here, I upload videos with different tips and tricks to help you get out of debt, so please consider subscribing. You've probably heard a lot of trash talk about budgeting over the years, or maybe you tried budgeting in the past and didn't stick with it each month. When I found out I needed to be on a budget to get out of debt, I was hesitant at first as well. But don't judge budgeting until you hear me out. Having a budget is essential to helping you beat debt and win with money. It's the map you need to get to where you want to go in this journey. That's why I want to debunk some of the top budgeting myths so you can start winning with money today. I don't have time to budget. If you're not doing a budget because you don't think you have the time, consider taking a fresh look at your priorities. You might be surprised at how many things you could let go of in order to get your finances back in shape. You know, those things that really aren't as important as taking control of your money. It's true, you might spend a few hours a month mapping out your expenses when you first start budgeting, but after those first few months, it's pretty much smooth sailing. You're simply plugging in numbers and letting the math do the rest. Once you get the hang of the budgeting process and you have a good grasp of your expenses, you could knock out a budget in as little as 30 minutes. Those 30 minutes will save you a lot of stress and money and will help you take control of your finances. Making a budget is difficult and I hate math. Speaking of math, this isn't rocket science. If you can do basic third grade math, you can make a budget. It's basically your income minus your outgo, and it needs to equal 0. That's it. And seriously, hating math is a pretty lame excuse. Instead of hating math, why not hate being in debt? Don't stay away from the budget because math is too hard. It's not. Just take what your monthly income is, you know, the money you bring into your house from your jobs, add up all of your outgoing expenses, your gas, your groceries, kids' activities, rent, house payment, electric, every expense that will come out that month. Now take what your income was and subtract your expenses. There, you just created a budget. Yeah, but budgeting is boring. You'd be amazed at how many people don't make a budget every month because they think it's boring. You know what else is boring? A credit card statement and collector calls and bankruptcy court. You know, actually, all that is pretty awful. If you're a free spirit when it comes to budgeting, stop and take a deep breath. You can do this. Once you get the hang of it, making a budget isn't bad at all. And as time goes by, you might even find it a little fun. Budgeting is key to helping you get out of debt and staying debt-free. Now honestly, that sounds like fun. Yeah, but I don't need to write out a budget. I can do all the budgeting right in my head. If you can seriously do a zero-based budget in your head every single month, I'll assume you're the most brilliant person in the planet. A budget in your head isn't a budget. Honestly, I've tried it for months and months and it doesn't work. It's just a kind of sort of vague idea of what's being spent type of thing. For a budget to work, it needs to be something you can track. And if you're married like I am and you're doing a budget in your head, that means that only one of you is involved in the decision making. And that's definitely a no-no. You need to be working together. Yeah, but I only budget by keeping track of everything I spend. Well, that's a start, but it's not a budget. When you only track spending, you're always looking at the past and never looking forward. Your budget is your game plan for the upcoming month. You're planning what you'll do with the money you haven't spent yet. When you keep receipts or you use your online banking statements to see what you spent last month, you're doing just that, looking at last month. You need to plan for your future spending while looking at your past spending, not just one or the other. If you're already tracking your spending, the budget is just a natural next step. I know, but being on a budget, it's so restrictive. You don't want to give up your Saturday morning coffee and bagel at the corner cafe. We get it, but don't worry. You can keep your weekly caffeine and schmear combo, but just put it in the budget. What does that mean? When you create your monthly budget, be sure to include things you enjoy. Budget for that weekend treat, that Friday night takeout, or the trip to the movies. Having a budget doesn't mean you can't have fun anymore. Believe it or not, a budget actually gives you the freedom to spend your money and have fun. I know, but I feel like there's just always things coming up. There's always these unexpected expenses, so I even bother to budget. Sure, things come up unexpectedly, but that doesn't mean your budget has to suffer because of it. In my experience, things aren't always unexpected as they seem. You know your friend's baby shower is coming up, you know when your car registration is due, and you know that Christmas is in December every single year. Be sure to plan for those types of things in your budget. And if you find you really, truly keep having unexpected costs to cover, add a miscellaneous category in your budget and use that and build that up over time. So when these unexpected things do come up, you have some money set aside. But just remember, don't abuse it. I know, but one thing that I hate about budgeting is I have to cook at home all the time. I can't go out to eat anymore. I just hate cooking. You hate cooking? Join the club. First of all, the rumors are true. You can actually eat at home without having to cook. Keep a rotation of PB&J, soup, tuna, and salad on hand, and you'll be set. But really, it's worth it to learn how to cook a few good meals. And pro tip, the slow cooker is your friend. One thing I like to do is just meal prep for the week. Cook up some chicken, rice, meat, and just have it ready for the week. Having a budget doesn't mean you never set foot in a restaurant again. You just have to budget for it. Add a date night or a girl or guy's night out and line it up in your budget. Add a column for Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, everything in between if you want to. The point is, just make sure you have room in your budget before you spend any money there. If the money isn't set aside for eating out, then don't eat out. Yeah, but now's just not the right time for me. Is it ever gonna be the right and most optimal time? Not really. Something will always come up. That's life. Are you putting up starting a budget just because you have a birthday or an anniversary coming up? Don't let that be your excuse. If anything, you need a budget now more than ever. A budget helps you figure out how much you want to spend on the gifts and the festives. Sure, every month will look different, but here's the great thing. You know the date of these holidays, birthdays, and anniversaries. They don't ever change. Put them in your budget months in advance so you can start saving today. Yeah, but that's okay. I make a lot of money. I don't need to budget. If you think doing a budget is only for people who have trouble making ends meet, think again. Most of the time, the people that make more money are just spending more money. So it doesn't matter if you have $100 to your name or if you're a millionaire. You need to tell your money where to go. Everyone needs a budget. I hate that so many people fall for these budgeting myths and excuses, but you don't have to be one of them. You have the power to take control of your money. All you need to do is take the first step. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you found any value in this whatsoever, then please throw me a thumbs up and comment down below with some budgeting myths you fell for when you first started your debt-free journey. And if you've made it this far and you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my videos. I'm helping you get out of debt and stay out of debt, one tip at a time. And as always, let's keep growing.